So right now we're headed to another ghost town that I read about in that book called Elkhorn. It's way out here. It just started raining. The skies are very overcast. It's a little spooky looking, to be honest with you. Lots of random cuts to the side roads and whatnot. I think these are like little settlements, I guess. I don't know. It says don't come into these side roads at all, so it's probably some redneck's weed farm up there or something. I'll probably get shot on sight if you go there. But we are about 1.8 miles away from Elkhorn. It is a long dirt road. It's like a 16-mile dirt road just to get out here. So I don't suspect there's going to be anyone else out here. And I don't recall if the book said that people lived out here. I think it did, but I'd be hard pressed to believe that. They'd have to be living off the land, because there's not a gas station or anything for miles. Grocery store, things like, necessities, things you need. That's pretty far away from this zone. But people continue to surprise me as I travel the country and find more stuff, different cultures, things like that. Probably can't even hear me over the racket that this truck's making. Rattlebox interior and the loud ass exhaust. But we shall see. It's looking kind of desolate out there. I love how it's like nothing, and then nothing, and then nothing. And now we got freezing rain or snow. I have no idea. I just love it. I love it. You get nothing, and then randomly, oh, here's a town. Here it is, yeah. I wouldn't call this a ghost town. Very underdeveloped. I don't agree that a ghost town just means low population. That doesn't say ghost town to me. That just that says underdeveloped town. You know what I mean? So that's what they're doing. They're fixing a water tank. Started in 2017. That's what it used to look like. So these two buildings I can legally go into. There's nothing that says no trespassing, so we're gonna go explore. It was just hailing out. Very empty. It's like an old meeting house. Apparently they used to have saloon dances upstairs. With no way up it. So, nice, big empty building. Potbelly stove. We'll go to that building next. How do you get upstairs? It must have been a balcony there and stairs down the side. It's
how a lot of these older buildings were. The stairs weren't on the inside, they were on the outside. This is definitely the meeting house. There's a stage there. Probably a theater, plays, shows. Same thing with that other place we went to, Marysville. I don't know why I can't remember the name of it. Yeah, definitely a meeting house. I wonder if there was fires here, because that's pretty charred looking there. Or if it just got really warm. Probably a coat rack in here. Yeah. Ticket booth. Probably used it as a church too, I'd imagine. Meeting houses normally doubled as churches until an actual established church was built. Some of these older towns. Lean on railing. This is technically a Montana State Park. So, they probably take pretty good care of it. This is a classroom. That's a chalkboard that leads me to believe that, yes, it is a classroom, but I don't know. Oh, it's just black wood. Very strange. Get in the attic. That's Elkhorn for you, I guess. There's really not much else here. But if you feel adventurous, you can come out here and apparently there's ghosts in here. Hope. Yeah, if you're feeling adventurous, you could come here and go in the mine yourself. I'm not gonna, because I need my job, but you guys can. Big beastie. I have a building over here. We'll go check it out. There's deer guts in the road here too, like the old deer hoof. A little bit of skin left on it. Kind of gross. Just sitting in the street. Lots of bones. Probably something ravaged it in the middle of the night and it just left there. This is actually in not terrible shape considering the other houses and places we've been to. I don't know if this will hold my weight. Not step in there if it's bowing. Yep. Definitely a house. Pretty good workmanship to have an abandoned structure like this last so long. Make sure you got your tetanus shots. Otherwise you'll die.
So I just had a discussion with the mayor of Elkhorn as I was leaving the two fraternity buildings. He told me, well, he's the neighbor, he's the guy that lives across the street from the fraternity buildings. He told me that he's the mayor and that I have permission to go to the mine. So now we're headed up to the mine, back where we traveled before. And we're gonna see what it's all about. He said that there's a control room there and a couple other shacks and whatnot. And he said if anyone gives me a problem, tell them that Mayor John said it was all right. He was one of the most humble dudes I've ever met in my entire life. He, so those two buildings, the two big empty ones, were a party house for college students from nearby towns, Helena and Boulder. And they would come up here and they would party all the time. They'd get drunk, and it was just a frat house. That's probably why it's called the fraternity house. So, I guess what happened was people would go in there and they would write their name on the wall and everything. Like, you know, John Smith was here in 1969 on this date at this time, blah, blah, you know, such and such. You've seen that type of stuff before, but no matter where you're going. So, sorry, focusing on driving here, you know, the important stuff. He said one time people went in there and with their hands covered in shit, smeared "fuck you" all over the walls and stuff like that. Like, they just really had a real nasty time in there. And these old ladies came up. This was in the 80s. These old ladies came up, went to check the place out, and saw what happened. And they saw how disgusting it was. So they called the Parks Department of Montana. They came up here. They washed the walls down and repainted it brown, and basically renovated it and named it as a national park, basically. And that's what happened. So now, that's why this is marked and why it was probably even written in this book. Yeah, so that's pretty neat. And Mayor John he moved up here right before 9/11, and he's been here ever since. I guess the cabin has been in his family for generations, so he just inherited it. So here we go again, another generational thing, where someone inherits it from, you know, generation. Which is cool. That stuff's cool. Super humble guy, really nice. We're just about now at the mine entrance. So I'll flip the camera around, because it was rainy before. Probably couldn't get a good look at anything. Mayor John has trained ravens to show up by the call of a bell. He said he's been training them to do stuff like this for the past couple of years, which is neat. Wow, this is awesome. He said I could drive up to these buildings, but I'd have to probably get out to explore the mill building because it's decrepit and decayed. And the rain's starting again. So here we are up here at the mine. Control room must be over here. And there's all the old levers and stuff, the old gearing. Wonder how that fed through. Wonder if it fed through this window. Maybe that wasn't even its original location, it was just shoved there. Wow, all the old electronics are here still. That's cool. Everything's basically pretty well preserved.
This is the first time I've ever explored a mine, so this is neat. Barbed wire. The hail and rain's coming back. This must have been some kind of... Oh, that's where the carts came up and down on. So yeah, the mine, that must be it right there underneath. So the control room is how they bring the carts back up. Because that stuff's definitely too heavy for humans to push once it's filled with, you know, stuff. He said that people would be so busy in the mines that they wouldn't even know people would be up here having parties. There'd be a couple guys that would be in the mines almost 24/7 and they just stay down there. This is like almost too decrepit to explore. Don't want to cause any damage. I also don't want to die either. We'll see what we can see. That's about it. It's like just a pile of rubble. That's pretty cool. We'll head back up. This must have been quite the building back in its day. Not anymore. So there's a little path down here to the right, leaving the turd. Just see where this goes. I think this just goes back to the building, the one that's toppled over. This weather today's been crazy. Now it's sunny and bright and warm. It was literally pouring 2 seconds ago. So we'll come down here first, just to take a look, see if it's anything worth coming down for. That angle's pretty cool. Probably end up coming down here. You know, don't you hate when there's a photo op and you pass it and you're like, man, I should have taken it, and it bothers you all day? That's been me for some parts of this trip, and it's like I'm at the point now. It's like I know I don't know when I'll be back out here again, if I ever come back out here again. So I should just do it. But you know, easy come, easy go. Sometimes you gotta take the L. Yeah, so it's that toppled building. That's basically all this is. But the mine is in there. Definitely pretty cool. I don't think I'm going to that third stop today. I've spent a lot of time here. A lot of time. And if I want to make my schedule for my other stops, then I gotta go elsewhere. That we can see down there from that chain. So this just connects from down there all the way up here. Yeah, that building is toast. Well, might as well while we're down here, just go check it out. It's probably boarded up, probably can't go in it. That's how a lot of the buildings are in Elkhorn. There's a lot of, they say no trespassing and they're fully boarded up, so it's like if you go in there, then, you know, that's breaking and entering. You don't want to do that. An old trunk and a pulley, it looks like. This wood's so old. I'm sure if it was dry, it would go up like a match. Nothing but kindling. Yeah, that thing's destroyed. That's the mill building itself. I think this is the miners' clubhouse. Must have been an old latrine or something. I wonder what's in this pit. That's it. It's a pit. Oh, old pulley system. That's pretty cool. Yep, so that's basically Elkhorn in a nutshell. That's really it. There's not much else. So we're up here at the Elkhorn Cemetery, which is on like the top of a mountain. Pretty neat little drive. Definitely need better tires as soon as I get home, because they're pretty bald. Raced the Nissan up here by accident, I think. So where I came out of the mine is a straightaway. And there's a side road that comes up next to the straightaway I was on, so I kind of just came out right in front of them. Yeah, so if you're not first, you're last. But here we are at the cemetery. You seem to be pretty newish plaques. Other than someone's dog. Pretty weird to bring a dog to a cemetery, but whatever. I think it's a crow. I'm not conditioned for steep hills anymore. All this driving's making me weak. Been driving for like 5 days now. Oh well. That's pretty.